Hello and welcome to Study Island. I am hopeful that this video is going to help you know how to take your Custom B assessment and then how to go in and take the 4 assignments that are going to be required as part of your grade. So first of all, we're just going to start off with what in the world is Study Island, because it may be something that you're familiar with, or it may be something that this is the first time you're hearing about it. So what is Study Island? Well, it's either A, an island kids are sent to do when they don't do their homework, or it's a place where students go when daydreaming instead of doing schoolwork, or it's C, a popular hangout for teachers during summer vacation, or D, a website to play, and I'm going to try and move my screen down, awesome games and learn. Your correct answer is going to be D, a website to play awesome games and to learn. And so that's obviously why we're going to be using it. So what is it? It basically it uses lessons, practice questions, explanations to just look at different things that are already taught in school. Now this is a math example, and we're going to be using all of the information inside of reading right here. So what it is, it's a web-based program that really helps you prepare not only for the TCAP that many of you will be taking in March, but if you are junior credit status, the ACT. And so really they are assignments that are aligned to the state standards, and so they're going to help you on these 2 major tests that you need to be successful with. So how do we use it? We are going to be looking at several different topics. During October, November, December, January, and February, so these are the 2 that we're on right now, they're going to be assigning topics. So when you get into your account, you may see a ton of things assigned, and if you're like, oh my goodness, it's because things started to be assigned last October. So it's okay if you're a little behind on it, because for this class all you're going to need to do is 4 different assignments. So what your goal is to answer 10 questions in each topic, and then if you answer them correctly, you're going to get this little red palm tree. That's your ticket. If you get the red palm tree, it means you're done. You get full points for the assignment, and you don't have to do anything more. So how do you actually, sorry. Try and move this up. So how you find your way to the island is you're going to go to the studyisland.com, and then you're going to enter your username and your password. So as far as what your username is it's going to be your student ID at ISCO, and then your password is actually ISCO. So I'm going to try and move this down here. If you cannot find your student ID, if you go to the course under Introduction and click on Study Island, it'll tell you how to find your ID. So if you happen to need that. So then once you get in, it's going to look very much like this, and you're going to click on My Classes. From there, you're going to see a screen that looks like this. You're going to have a long list of these, right? You do not need to pay attention to any that say math for this particular class, okay? The assessment that you need to be taking this block is the 10B custom reading. Now yours may say 9B or 11B, but it's going to be the B custom reading, okay? And then you can start to work in any of the pathways. Don't ignore the due dates. If it says incomplete, you can click on it and start working. Okay. Once you get in, it's going to look like this. So you're going to have all of these different topics. So you can see we have literary analysis, and under literary analysis, there's textual evidence, inferences, and conclusions. Okay. And then you go on to craft and structure. So once you get here, where you're going to go next is you're going to click up here on the Start Studying. From there, you're going to get to this screen where you're going to have a few choices. So you need to decide how you want to take the test, basically. So you have the choice of practice mode or game mode, really. The printable worksheet, I mean, you can print it off, but it doesn't record your score. So you can do practice mode or game mode. So I'm going to show you what those look like next. Oh, and always keep your numbers at 10. You don't want to go less, you don't want to go more, you need it to be at 10, okay? And then once you're ready, you can just click the next button. From here, if I hit practice in the next mode, what the practice is going to look like is very similar to this. It's going to have you know, my screen, of course, it'll be a lot of reading since it's going to be reading, and then that is cut off. But it says that you're going to select your letter, so either A, B, C, or D as your answer, and then if you get it correct, it'll give you a star. And then you can also click on explanation. So once again, sorry, this is cut off a little. If you hit explanation, it will explain what the correct answer was and why you were incorrect. And so that's really helpful because remember, you have to get 70% or above to pass. So if you miss the question, you need to understand why so that you can correct that. And then you just hit next mode. If you want to go on to game mode, you're going to do the same thing. Instead of practice mode, you're going to hit game mode and then next. And then you're going to have several choices. Actually, there's going to be beginner games, intermediate games, and challenging games. And you can see just under beginner games, there's 6 different options. So there are a lot of different games in here. And if you want to do it, if you want to take your test through a game, that you can do that. And so what that looks like is just, here's some examples. So here's the SWAT game, the basketball game, the slingshot game, and the cheerleading game. And those are just some examples. So it's the exact same thing as practice mode. It's just a game. So it just really depends on your learning style. If you would rather just read it and look at A, B, C, D, then choose practice mode. If you would rather read the passage and then try and do it as an interactive game, then choose game mode. Okay? So, sorry, waiting for my screen here. So, what is required for you for this class? The first thing is you need to take the Custom B reading assessment. Now remember, that's going to be dependent on your grade level. So it's either going to say 9B, 10B, or 11B. Your goal is to do this by this Friday, okay? From there, you're going to need to complete 4 topics with at least 70% or above, which means you're going to get the red palm tree. And then you'll receive full points for those. It's worth 100 points in this class. Now, this is going to be key. I've already had this in a few different announcements. If you take 3 tests in a row and you don't have 70% or better, you've got to stop. Because the more you take the test, you kind of dig yourself a hole. It's based off of a mathematical average, and so you need to email me and tell me what topic you're on and what's happening, and then I can go in and reset it for you, and you can try it. You can try it again. Now, obviously, since you have to do 4 topics, if you get all 4 correct the very first time, you only have to take 4 tests. Okay? But every time you don't get 70%, you end up doing more work. So make sure that you take your time, you're studying it, you're learning the material, okay? As always, if you have any questions, just send me an email, and otherwise, best of luck.